We are about to get underway. A lot of burgundy in the house. Arkansas in the darker jerseys. He's able to finally have a chance to train during the offseason and not rest and rehab. Timpson with the block shot. Among the nation's leaders and getting possessions per game, and that's a nice finish. And she led the nation in scoring and scored more points than anybody else in the history of the game.
And coaching his alma mater as well. Neighbors talked to us about in his 7 seasons, this is the team that he feels like has the most opportunity for growth throughout the season as Amaria Gordon lets it rain from 3. And you see there is going to be a crowd anytime tonight.
Averaging over 2 threes per game. That is 5th so far in the ACC. Gordon. Caught off nicely by
look.
Spencer, and then, terrific look in the finish for Timpson. 7 points per game last year and is up that by 9 points per game. So Latson, the most improved player in the ACC last year, and Gordon got to be in the conversation. Sarah Bajetti with the perfect pass to Latson. Her 5th year out of Helsinki, Finland, and just a really good defensive player. Heady, terrific pass, and there's the drive. First year at Florida State, coming over from Cal. Another turnover for Arkansas, 1-on-2, but Latson took it right to Poffenbarger, who rejected it. At Florida, that's most by any ACC player this year anywhere. That looks good. That is the first 3 buried.
Carly Keats going to benefit from the fact that Sasha Goforth, not with the team now, has stepped away.
So Arkansas making that announcement. Another block, this time by Ellis. And she can keep her scholarship. Everything is there, and it's an open door. But she is not available now for the Razorbacks, and we certainly wish Sasha well.
Establishing position and taking the contact.
Another block underneath by Ellis, and now Scott.
Looked like the follow-through of Amaria Gordon got Makayla Daniels.
Left open, the 3 sails and goes into the bottom of the net. That's the freshman, where we have 2 of the high-powered, at least fastest teams in the college basketball world, but they're not making a lot of shots, and that's the 7th block already for Arkansas. Outside shot, bottom of the net for Spencer.
Turn that into offense. In transition, you got to match up, got to find 3-point shooters. This is what Arkansas does.
Coming back to use her COVID year. The shovel pass over to Dowda, who was...
Daniels has really had to adjust her game with the addition of Talia Scott. Used to having the ball in her hands a lot. Talia Scott is a volume scorer as well. Florida State, then they come back and play UCLA. This is a challenging time for this young team.
It sure is a tough stretch. Timpson elevates, boy. What a player. Heading into this game with a dynamic score. Oh, Latson, come on.
Brooke Wyckoff talked about the way that Sanaya Latson is, but just look at the read.
Oh.
She goes around the defender. She's poised, and she's able to finish.
Yeah, National Freshman of the Year, but still room for improvement. But now between your freshman and sophomore years,
and was back on the bench for the opening game of the season.
Yep, remarkable. Has a daughter, Avery, who just turned 10 last week. And Timpson, certainly a special player. Poffenbarger finally gets one to fall.
Oh, here is really tough to defend. All the defense, you see 1-2-3 jersey sucked down into the paint. Poffenbarger wide in the popping by Sailor Poffenbarger. She's going to continue to shoot the ball.
Oh yeah, shoot or shoot, right? Timpson somehow was able to collect the ball in traffic and send it home. Hesitation, and then the hands in the lane. Florida State turns it over as we approach 2 minutes to go in the half. Perfection for Talia Scott, and that's her first. And Another play, that length you talked about with Poffenbarger. She's a problem on both sides of the floor if you're an opponent, and there's a three buried by Scott.
And we saw some of this on the Arkansas end in the first quarter, turnovers for scores, and now
Spencer guarded by Bajetti, their best perimeter defender. Poffenbarger, couple of feet behind the three-point line, and she beats the buzzer.
Here off the elbow, Turnage gets sucked in on this penetration, and then it's 2-on-1 on the backside. You got to pick your poison.
And there was two runs, a 9-0 run and a 12-2 run, as for Arkansas to close out the quarter. There's Timpson starting things off with the block. Has hit 5 threes, just a couple of threes falling for this Florida State team that has averaged 88 points per game. There is another block.
Well, Miriam Dowd has done such a good job of using her length inside, staying vertical, altering shots, and Scott finds the rim again. Terrific cut by Poffenbarger, draws in secondary defender.
Working double-digit rebounds in the first half alone, and another drive and a score, this time for Daniels.
Getting extra possessions.
Bajetti didn't score in the first half. That's a nice feed over to Timpson.
Primary ball handler, she has it in her hands as Bajetti. This is a great find on the drop pass to find Timpson.
Very good at handling the basketball, and first in the ACC in assist turnover ratio, and she is on the bench now with 3 fouls. That flat out just came out of the bucket for Tucker. And Florida State is ice cold. Daniels loved it leaving her hands. 5 freshmen in the country.
This freshman class is outstanding, electric. You see Juju Watkins, Hannah Hidalgo, Talia Scott, who we're seeing here today. Makayla Williams, you mentioned it, dropped 42 on Kent State. And Malaysia Fulwiley at South Carolina, one of the most electric players in the country. Transition, and it's so important to get matched up. Poffenbarger gets loose.
14-point advantage.
See how it gets stuck right there? Instead of just going to the other side, getting to the next pass, getting to the next.
They're not getting any offensive rebounds either. Dowda got that one for Arkansas. And then the nifty move.
It's a great attack in transition. Again, it's not there, no over penetration. Find the next pass, find the next action, and Scott.
20 seconds left on the shot clock. Gordon showing her quickness, put it up left-handed and got it to fall. The shot by Villegas. And the finish by Makayla Daniels. Shots from the floor and turned the ball over 4 times since they were down by only 2 at halftime. Another rebound. At 21 against Louisiana Monroe earlier this season, and nothing but the bottom of the net for Scott.
What are you going to do on the nights when the shots aren't falling? Can you find ways to get stops? Can you find ways to get some easy ones? With 1 second left on the shot clock and this underneath out of bounds.
Oh, from way downtown, Poffenbarger.
Look at the slip out. There's confusion on the defensive end. There's not really a screen, so are we switching? Are we not? 2 players went to
Poffenbarger kind of running around the three-point line, wants the ball, but instead the 3 is taken and hit by Spencer.
You know, if you're the Seminoles, you've got to make an adjustment in how you're playing the on-ball screens as Alexis Tucker knocks one down.
4 shots, the Cal transfer.
But look at the spacing for the Razorbacks. Great spacing. It gives them opportunity to play one-on-one to attack, to force long rotations, to find their teammates.
That's another 3. Daniels picks up her dribble, shot clock dwindling. Step back 3, nailed by Talia Scott, the super freshman.
Big individual move, just a little hesitation and the step back to create space, but the
number 15 ranked team in the country, just 1 loss on the season. That was her last game against Stanford. Scott's 3 that time missed everything. And another block by Poffenbarger. The follow, though, is true by Timpson.
Second quarter. Florida State had Samara Spencer was 3 for 4 from the floor. The rest of the starters 1 for 20. But again, they stayed true. They stayed the course. They did what they continued to do best and finally found a rhythm on the offensive end.
Three from Tucker. That's her second. Florida State women trying to turn the tables and have a big comeback of their own. Poffenbarger had to get it off.
One more. Yep. That's a good look.
The drive, count it, and the foul. Gordon.
Right, it's been one pass and then trying to make a play. This time, the extra pass.
She had 21 in a game earlier against Louisiana Monroe, and she is now one away from tying the Arkansas record. Spencer nails a three.
That is what will make them dangerous throughout the course of this season.
Scott with another tough shot. Gets it to fall. Inside, that's a terrific feed. Spencer found Dowden.
Can you execute in the quarter court? And we're finding out that they can execute very well in time and score situations.
Absolutely, count it, and the foul. And they have done that, and now with this big lead, as you mentioned, doing a good job of executing.
And we can shore up those really bad areas as we head into conference play. They haven't looked any bit bad here tonight.
They got off to that slow start offensively, and boy, since the second quarter, they've taken over. It's potential for growth. He's very excited for this team to grow together. Scott is a true freshman, and she's fantastic.
She sure is. I've been impressed with her poise and composure. We've mentioned it struggled early, but stuck to it. Found her stride. Offensive players, you're going to have days where you struggle.
Here in the fourth, but they are going to come away with a victory and move to 7-1 on the season after trailing by 8 points in the second quarter. Latson shows some of her skill. Going to play Kent State and Jacksonville before they go to Uncasville, Connecticut to play UCLA, which is Arkansas's next opponent. But holy, Mike Neighbors has got to be pleased with what he saw, and Poffenbarger was just a beast on the